before we move forward, let's cover the basics and talk about what commercials directors do on the projects, or know how the workflow goes on the commercial project. Usually there are three main stages. Number one, it's called pre-production. Pre-production. It's basically where you work on the treatment, you develop your vision, you're presenting that vision to the agency, you deliver that vision across all departments so they know what they must do. The second one, it's called production. And production. And it's basically where people start working on the commercial. And of course, you go on the film set. And the third one, it's called post-production. And the post-production, it's actually also fun stage because here you can make your ad pop. And today I want to talk about pre-production because for me, it's the work before the work. I remember in one agency we had this saying that the pre-production is the king. And the better you are prepared, the better you will be on the film set. That's kind of logic. I really love that. And let's go through and see what you should do as a director in order to be ready for the project, at least in my case. So, all projects are different, right? But usually you start with a brief. And the brief comes as a script. And usually you also get a storyboard. So the storyboard, it's actually a shooting list from the agency because before they show the idea to the director, the script went to the client. And sometimes there's some revisions, some changes. The storyboard, it's actually help client to understand the idea. For example, you get some kind of idea how the structures go, then they show you the script and the storyboard. It's really important as well, are you okay to work with that? Because there are agencies that don't allow you to do any changes. And if you say here, yes, then you must work with that. And again, when you are a young filmmaker or a commercial director, you probably will say yes to everything. A dog commercial? Let's do that. Happy family? Love that. Mayonnaise commercial? Give me that. But with time, you develop your portfolio and you understand, okay, you're better in lifestyle commercials, in dance choreography. I feel that I'm confident with comedy and I'm trying to avoid projects that doesn't fit my portfolio because I also selling not just vision, but also my time. And if I'm busy on the project, I just cannot take another one. That's simple. So that's one thing you take in mind. So after the brief, you work on your treatment. And this is where you basically present your vision and tell the agency how you're going to shoot and how you're going to make sure that the storytelling works effectively and you effectively deliver the brand message. And here it's important to talk about every aspect of the video that matters for you. For me, it's always casting. I kind of do pretty much always the same casting, locations, because I like to have interesting visual characters and vivid locations. Props, also our department is really important, usually in my clips, in my work. Music, references. Yeah, and here nobody expects from you the final casting, actors, locations. Here you just kind of create a mood. And after you talk with the agency, they might ask you to change something or they might ask you to create an animatic. So an animatic, it's basically is the video that made out of the storyboard. Here's an example.
Artlist.io. Maja ir pelnījusi kroni. Atrodis savas mājas kroni.
And usually production is ready to help you with that and make an edit, and they will show you one version, then you can comment and they will do some changes. Or if you have skills, you can take the pictures and make on your own. I usually do it myself because I know how to edit stuff. I know that I can tweak all these kind of little seconds here and there and make sure that I kind of like what I see. And I really like to design and craft presentations and treatments because it was a huge part of my work in advertising. So now I keep doing that. Here's one of my examples that I really like. Now I'm mainly using ReadyMac to present my ideas, and that was one of my first cases when I used ReadyMac. I kind of still like that. You have some intro slide, then you have all the specific materials that are important for you. For example, I had, like vision slides about that, some example where we see a character breaking in, like sneakers, AT&T commercial, and then the character. For us, it was a really important thing in this script, so yeah, I kind of dedicated a whole slide for that. My sketches. So I try to explain like what specific things are matter for me, and yeah, basically then the drawing from the artist. That's kind of goes it like that, you kind of break out every element of the story. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of always helps you to deliver your ideas to the team and of course to the client and the agency. After that, you go and meet the client. After that, you might get another round of meetings or calls with the agency, and you might present them options for locations, casting, outfits, style, props. After that, you go to the next stage, and it's called PPM. So it's called like pre-production meetings. And here you show final stuff. And by that, I mean, you show final casting, final location. In my experience, the more you show here and the more you agree and approve on the PPM, it's better for you. I kind of like to do a lot of shots on the set, so for me, saving time is always crucial. So maybe here or here, I will do a pre-shoot video. So a pre-shoot video is basically what you saw on the animatic or in the storyboard, and you just make a test video on the location or whatever it is, just to test out the length of different shots and the overall flow for the editing. I'm going to show you a few examples here just to demonstrate the idea. Okay, so here's the animatic we saw previously, and here is the pre-shoot video. So I'm going to play side by side.
Artlist.io.
Tava Maja ir pelnījusi kroni. Atrodis savas mājas kronī, Freimans LV.
What I really like about doing pre-shots, it gives me a lot of information about camera movements, the length of the shots, and I do pre-shoot a lot. I like to experiment, and sometimes I do pre-shoots in my studio. Sometimes I just go outside. And yes, people usually look at me like on the crazy guy. So yeah, that's the pre-shoot. That basically makes a workflow in any project. If you have any questions, feel free again to ask me in Instagram or here